Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're shifting focus to the fifth day of Navratri, Panchami. And that means exploring the goddess Skandamata.
Exactly. And our goal today, well, it's more than just retelling her story. We really want to dig into the life values she represents.
Right, the deep, meaningful purpose. And crucially, understand why she comes right after Kushmanda Devi in the Navdurga sequence. That placement feels important.
It's absolutely key. The sequence itself is teaching us something fundamental about spiritual progression.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. Who is Skandamata? She's the fifth form of Adi Shakti, right?
That's her primary identity. And her name, Skandamata, it literally translates to Mother of Skanda.
Mother of Skanda,
Okay.
who we also know as Lord Kartikeya, or Murugan, the war god.
Precisely, the mother of the war god. And that relationship immediately sets up this fascinating visual dynamic, this sort of internal contradiction in her iconography.
Yeah, you look at her image and it's striking. There's this fierce power, but also incredible tenderness.
It's a perfect synthesis. You see her riding a ferocious lion. You can't miss that. It screams warrior goddess, fearlessness, the power to conquer negativity.
Okay, the lion signifies strength, authority.
Definitely. But then right there on her lap is the infant Skanda. It's
Yeah.
this image of pure maternal love, vulnerability, protection.
And she has four arms, usually.
Typically, yes. Each arm adds another layer, so two hands often hold lotus flowers.
Lotuses,
Yeah.
symbolizing purity, detachment.
Exactly. Purity, beauty, maybe even spiritual ascent. Then one hand is usually raised in the Abhayo Mudra.
The fear not gesture,
Aye.
protection.
She's assuring her devotees, I will protect you. And the fourth hand, naturally, is cradling Skanda, gently holding him.
She's sometimes called Padmasana Demi, too, isn't she? Because she sits on a lotus.
Yes, Padmasana, or Padmasini, the lotus-seated goddess, it reinforces that purity aspect. And her whole aura is described as Shubhra, radiant, pure, like bright white light.
So you've got the fierce lion mount, the protective gesture, the pure lotuses, and this radiant aura, all while holding a baby. That's quite a mix.
It is. Strength and grace, power and tenderness, all held in perfect balance. That's the first big clue to the values she embodies.
And you mentioned an astrological connection.
Yes, she's linked with Buddha, the planet Mercury.
Mercury, that governs intellect, communication, discernment, right?
Precisely. And that's not just a random connection. It actually hints at why she's the focus on day 5, linking her to the throat chakra, the center of expression and truth. We'll definitely circle back to that.
Okay, sounds good. But first, let's get into that core story, how she actually earned the title Mother of Skanda, because his birth story is, well, unusual.
It really is. The scriptures, like the Devi Mahatmya, name her clearly. Panchamam Skandamata, the fifth Skandamata. She's a distinct aspect of the Divine Mother.
But the Skanda Purana gives the details of his birth.
Yes, and it's crucial for understanding her specific form of motherhood. Skanda's birth was, a divine necessity. He was destined to defeat the powerful demon Tarakasura.
And his origin involves both Shiva and Parvati's energies, but it wasn't a conventional birth from Parvati.
Not at all. The divine seed, Shiva's energy, was incredibly potent, carried first by Agni, the fire god, then eventually nurtured by the 6 Kritika stars, the Pleiades. So technically, he had multiple mothers in a way.
So how does Parvati become the mother, Skandamata?
And this is the profound part. Parvati, who is Durga herself, accepts this child, who wasn't physically born from her womb completely and utterly as her own son.
Wow. So no hesitation, just pure acceptance.
Pure, unconditional love. It's a powerful statement about what motherhood truly means. It transcends biology. It's about the spiritual bond, the nurturing heart. She sets this ultimate example of universal motherhood.
That's a really beautiful concept. Universal selfless love, like spiritual adoption on a cosmic scale.
Exactly. And it's not a passive love either. She takes him, brings him to Mount Kailash, and she and Shiva together empower him. They give him blessings, weapons, everything he needs to fulfill his destiny as the great warrior.
So her love is actually what empowers him to defeat evil. It's an active, enabling force.
Precisely. Her nurturing grace is the foundation for his victory.
Okay, this brings us right to that central question about the Navratri sequence. We've gone through day 1, Shailaputri Foundation, courage. Day 2, Brahmacharya, discipline, purity. Day 3, Chandraganta, willpower, focus. Day 4, Kushmanda.
Kushmanda, who opened the heart chakra, filled the devotee with cosmic love, compassion, creative energy.
Right, so the heart is open, filled with love. You'd think maybe the next step is straight to higher consciousness. Why Skandamata now? Why this focus on, as you mentioned, the throat chakra?
That's the critical point. Think of the Navratri journey as like building something complex. You lay the foundation, build the structure, get the power source running.
Okay, Shailaputra the foundation, Brahmacharini the discipline, Chandrakanta the willpower.
Exactly. Then Kushmanda activates the heart, the source of love and connection. You now have strength, discipline, and compassion. A potent mix.
Seems like you'd be ready for anything.
Almost. But raw power and love, without refinement, can be misplaced. Think about it. A heart full of compassion, but without the wisdom to express it properly or the clarity to direct it.
I see. You could speak truth harshly or act impulsively even with good intentions.
Precisely. An open heart needs a clear voice. That's where Skandamata comes in. She represents the transition to the Vishuddha chakra, the throat center.
The throat chakra, communication, expression, truth.
Yes. Her arrival signifies that the devotee, now grounded and heart-centered, is ready for Vishuddhi purification. Specifically, purification of expression, of thought, of communication.
So she's refining the energy, teaching how to use the love and strength gained.
Exactly. The maternal guide steps in. She nurtures the soul towards clarity. It's about learning to speak your truth, but with wisdom and love. It's about effective, pure communication. You need this refinement before moving to the higher cognitive centers, like the third eye.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. You need to channel that heart energy constructively. It's not just feeling love, it's expressing it wisely.
Absolutely. Her worship is believed to bring that crystal clarity, that ability to communicate purely, truthfully, effectively. It purifies your whole output channel.
Now, this sounds like where it gets really interesting for someone practicing this. The tangible benefits, the deep purpose in worshiping her. You mentioned a dual blessing.
Yes, this is perhaps the most unique aspect highlighted in the sources. Because Skanda, the powerful warrior sun, is right there on her lap.
Right.
Worshipping Skandamata automatically includes the worship of Lord Skanda. You don't need to worship him separately on this day.
Wait, really? So you get blessings from both?
Exactly. Twice the merit, as they say. It's a 2-for-1 spiritual deal. You receive the mother's grace, her wisdom, her unconditional love, her nurturing energy.
And at the same time.
And at the same time, you receive the sun's blessings, Kartikeya's courage, his ability to overcome obstacles, his protection, his success in righteous battles.
Wow. That's incredibly efficient, spiritually speaking.
Yeah.
Protection and wisdom together.
It is a very powerful combination. And beyond that dual boon, she's also seen as a source of profound wisdom herself.
Yeah, the sources mention she can grant insight even to those considered ignorant. Like she burns away confusion.
That's the idea. Sometimes she's called the goddess of fire, not literally fire, but representing that radiant, purifying light, like the sun, that dispels the darkness of ignorance. This purifying aspect ties directly back to those core life values we saw emerging from her iconography.
Okay, let's pull those core values out, the ones she really teaches us. We started with that amazing act of acceptance.
Right, number 1 has to be selfless love. Her embracing Kartikeya is the ultimate example. It teaches us that true divine love is universal, unconditional. It's about nurturing and accepting, regardless of origins, the spiritual ideal of motherhood.
And then the lion, the power.
That leads to empowering strength. It's crucial to see that her love isn't passive or weak. It's the very force that empowers good to overcome evil. Her nurturing gives the devotee, gives you the strength to face your own inner demons, your external challenges. You get courage fueled by grace.
So love makes you strong, essentially.
In the highest sense, yes. And that brings us to the third value, which is perhaps her most visible lesson: balance.
The lion and the child, side by side.
Exactly. Valor and compassion held perfectly together, fierce protection of what's right, but always expressed with kindness, with that maternal tenderness. It's about being strong without being harsh, being loving without being weak. Fearlessness tempered by grace. That's the goal.
That feels like a really practical lesson for everyday life, finding that balance.
It absolutely is. And the final core value ties back to our discussion about day 5 in the throat chakra: communication and clarity.
Vishuddha.
Yes, she governs that realm. She teaches truthfulness, but truth spoken with love. She brings clarity of thought, aiding decision-making, especially when things get tough. It's about purified expression.
So how does someone apply this on a daily basis, or especially on day 5?
Well, the practice involves trying to embody these values:
Hmm.
honesty, kindness, selfless service, or seva. On Panchami itself, devotees might focus on seeking serenity, maybe wearing green, which symbolizes growth and harmony. Offering foods like bananas, symbolizing nourishment, acknowledges that maternal, nurturing aspect.
It sounds like the real aim isn't just asking for things, but actually trying to become a bit like her, to awaken that balance within yourself.
That's the deeper transformation, yes. awakening that inner loving, fearless mother, whether you're male or female, to guide your own thoughts, words, and actions.
So, wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway? What does Skandamata ultimately mean for us on this spiritual journey?
I think her significance really lies in showing us how the Divine Mother nurtures our highest potential. She's the source of wisdom, the ultimate protector, but she's also the one who refines us. She guides the soul towards that purity of expression, making sure the love and strength we've gathered are used wisely, effectively.
So she ensures the compassion from day 4 gets channeled properly.
Exactly. That refinement, that integration of strength and grace is what prepares you for the even higher stages of awareness and insight that come next in Navratri.
It's a crucial bridge.
It really is. And here's a final thought to maybe reflect on. This integration of Skandamata's values, that fierce protection combined with unconditional support, isn't just spiritual practice, it's almost like a template for ideal leadership, isn't it?
Interesting.
Leadership. Think about it. If you can truly embody that balance, clear-sighted intelligence and strength, the lion, alongside nurturing compassion and support, the mother, you're not just honoring the goddess, you're bringing that essential maternal principle into everything you do. Your relationships, how you mentor others, even how you relate to the earth.
So ensures power is used wisely with love.
Precisely. And that balance, that clarity she offers, ultimately pushes you towards real spiritual freedom and understanding. It's about making your inner strength truly constructive.